Hello, everyone, and welcome to Yoga Therapy made possible by UCLA Health's Integrative Medicine Collaborative. My name is Julie, and I'm here to be your guide today. We are going to have the option of starting either seated or standing. So listen to the wisdom of yourself and decide what is going to best serve your practice today. We'll add consciousness to either the seated or standing mountain pose. And let's start with a top-down approach. Place your finger on your chin and tuck it back. So we're not bringing the chin to the chest, but toward it, and you're tucking the chin back. And you should feel a lengthening in the back of the neck. Very few of us sit or stand with this sort of awareness. Let's move down to the shoulder joint and reach the hands toward the floor. So again, this should feel active. It should feel different than how you normally would sit or stand. Let's just give a gentle rotation to the shoulders here, away from the center. So you get a sense of expansion in the chest and the heart. Continuing to move down, tuck the tail if you're standing, squeezing the glute, or push the hips into the chair if you are seated. Now, if you're standing, you may already feel engagement in the leg, in the lower limb. It's like a chain reaction when we add consciousness, when we add effort and focus. So we are intentionally sitting with a little bit of rigidity, not too much. We're not locking out the joints. If you're standing, see if you can tighten the thigh muscles in front and lift the kneecap. Again, continuing to add this awareness as you breathe in and out. If you're sitting in the chair, make sure the knees are right on top of the ankles. Same thing if you're standing, maybe having to adjust. And now look down at the feet and make sure that they are parallel, not one in front of the other. And they're in the hip box. So this is why we don't judge. Everyone will experience this differently. This is a seated or standing mountain pose. Now we know that when we practice yoga, we're going to introduce the breath, but take a moment here to notice that it has been here all along and get a sense of the body breathing you. As you transition from all other moments, from anything that happened before this moment, gather up all of those parts of you that serve others or work or tend to self, all of those other hats we wear, gather them all together as you come into this body, into this moment, just as you find it. Place one hand below the navel and one hand on the chest, and now begin consciously breathing in and out through the nostrils. Let the breath initiate in the abdominal region, keeping the breath out of the chest. It'll rise there on its own. And let's practice this smooth and even diaphragmatic breath for about a minute, beginning now. Choose a rhythm and a pace. Using the breath as an anchor to keep you in the moment. Remembering that when we practice being in the moment, we are practicing stress reduction. Bringing a sense of groundedness, a sense of calm to the day. Release the hands again, bring them down by the side of the body, seated or standing, reaching the hands toward the earth. With your inhale, flip the palms away and lift the chin. And with your exhale, glide the hands down the quadriceps, bending in the knee if you're standing. This is our opening gliding sequence. With your inhale, opening, shoulder blades come together back behind you. And with your exhale, coming into a fold. A few more of these on your own. So here we're releasing the neck muscle as you look up. Muscles in the neck, cervical spine in the neck, the shoulders, elbows are bending, fingers and wrists. Definitely getting the thoracic spine here in the low back. Also the hip, and if you're standing, we're getting knee. One more like this. The next time you come into the fold, we're going to hold the pose. Hands are a light pressure on the quads, on the thighs. Looking down at the earth, not extending the chin forward. We want to make sure again that it's tucked back. And you're breathing in and out. If you're in the chair, you're leaning forward, a little bit of an angle here. Make sure you are breathing. A good mix today of grounding postures, of holding poses, and of gliding. On your next inhale, reverse. Shoulder blades come together back behind you. Palms are toward the screen. Chin is lifting. Breathing. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, let's go back to safety, back to something that's a little bit more calming. Still consciously breathing. Remember, it's the most important part of the practice. Tuck the chin to the chest as you slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. We'll release the top of the right foot. So if you're standing, you're going to bend in the ankle and bring the top of the foot as close as you can to the earth. And if you're seated, same thing. You're going to take the right foot back behind you and just release, stretching out the front of the right foot and the right ankle. Make sure you are breathing here. Applying just the right amount of pressure. Take a deep inhale. Hold the pose and sigh it out. And then return the foot to neutral, seated or standing, mountain pose. Notice the difference, right foot, left foot, maybe even the leg. Let's see what we find on the opposite side. Remember, we come to the mat, we come to the practice to balance. And now we're pressing out the top of the left foot onto the earth. Make sure the tail is slightly tucked. If you're standing, the hips are pressing into the chair. If you're seated, that left leg coming back behind you. Should be a little bit of pleasure here in the release. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, release, come back to center. We're going to inhale, bring the right shoulder up, and exhale, bring it back. Continue on your own. Inhale forward and up, exhale back. And now let's head in the opposite direction. Inhale back and up, exhale forward and down. One more in this direction. As you come back to neutral, going to the left side, inhale forward and up, exhale back and down. And again, you're setting a rhythm and a pace. You can speed this up or slow it down. And now let's head in the opposite direction. Inhale back and up, exhale forward and down. One more in this direction as you come back to neutral. And now we're going to do both shoulders. It's as if you're a little bit of a wave. Inhale, right shoulder comes up. Exhale, left shoulder comes up. Getting a little bit in the torso here. Seated or standing shoulder release. Notice you've chosen a direction, and let's head in the opposite direction. And sometimes this is all we need just to reset the nervous system. One more in this direction as you return to neutral. With your next inhale, circle sweep, reach the arms up. And with your exhale, bow forward. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, bow forward. Continue on your own. That is the posture. Inhaling up and exhaling, bowing forward. And the next time you bow forward, we're going to hold the pose. Hands can be on the thighs. Remember not to lock out the knees or the elbows here. We're avoiding rigidity. But let's once again talk about the placement of the head. So you don't want to lead with the chin. You want to tuck it back so you get a sense of lengthening. Make sure you are breathing. Eyes opened or closed. Shoes on or off. Standing or seated. You know best. On your next inhale, circle sweep, reach up, press the palms together. We're going to hold this pose. Keep a bend in the elbow. Palms are pressed together. Fingers are pressed together. Light pressure here. As you reach up, make sure you are breathing. Lengthening in the spine, lifting and separating the rib. This is a good posture to practice if you are choking or trying to get your breath. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, let's swan dive all the way down to a fold. Hands can be on the thighs, below the knees, reaching toward the floor. Seated or standing, Uttanasana. This is a forward fold. Breathing into the back side of self. Holding this pose. Remember the breath. Bend in the knee, tuck the chin to the chest. Inhale as you circle, sweep or reach up. Press the palms together. Exhale, hands at the heart. Inhale, nostrils. Side out through the mouth. Two more on your own. Half sun salutes. Inhale, reach. Exhale, follow the breath down as you fold. Inhale, come halfway up, and exhale, fold. Circle, sweep, reach. Exhale, press the palms together. Inhale here, and sigh it out. Inhale, sweep and reach. Follow the breath as you fold. Inhale, halfway up, and exhale, fold. Sweep and reach. Exhale, close the pose. Inhale, and sigh it out. Last time, let the breath lead. Inhaling As you come up, exhale as you fold. Sweep and reach, inhale. Exhale, press the palms together. Inhale and sigh it out. If you're standing, come to a seat. Seated or standing, let's move the flesh away from the sitting bones. In the seated mountain pose, add that awareness. Feet equally pressing into the earth. Knees on top of ankles, hip in alignment with knees, tail slightly tucked, chin pulled back, shoulders soft, tongue releases from the roof of the mouth if you find it there. Sitting with purpose and focus. Bring the hands down by the side of the body. With the inhale, reach the right arm up. And with your exhale, bring the hand to the left side of the head and bring the right ear toward the right shoulder. And here you have the option of sliding that left hand underneath the left hip. So the function of this pose here is to create space between the left shoulder and the left ear. We're practicing function over form. Try not to worry about what the pose looks like, but what the function entails, the function's usage. So here, we tend to hold a lot of stress in the neck and the shoulder. This is a nice hold here. Every exhale, releasing muscle tension. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, release as you come back to neutral. Bring the hands to the thighs. And let's compare left side to right side. Side of the face, the left neck, the left shoulder compared to the right. Does one feel warmer, tighter, longer? Focusing the mind. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side. Now, inhale, reach the left arm up. And exhale, bring it to the side of the face. Now the left ear comes toward the left shoulder with the option of sliding the right hand underneath the right hip or grabbing onto the side of the chair. We're going to hold this pose and breathe. Remembering the function here is to lengthen, reminding the muscles of their elasticity, of their ability to release. And we practice here, we're using the body and the mind watches, releasing tension in the muscles. Has a tendency of releasing tension and tightening and gripping in the mind. Take a deep inhale, and on your exhale, unwind as you come back to neutral, hands resting on the thighs. Once again, comparing right side to left side without judgment, just notice what you are experiencing. We're going to move in and out. Here's another gliding posture for us. We're going to move in and out of a fold and a chest and heart opener. So let's start with the fold. You can keep your legs here. You can extend the legs long with the heels on the ground. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, hinge at the hip. Keep the spine long. Again, we're not leading with the chin. You're tucking it back. And the hamstrings here will tell you, that's a big muscle on the back of your thighs. It will tell you how far you can go. So we're not curving in the spine. We're reaching forward and lengthening. Wherever the hands are, slowly glide them back up. And now we're going to reverse this pose, bringing the hands either to the chair or back behind you, pointing the toes away and lifting the chin. So this is a seated fish pose. Bring the shoulder blades together back behind you. So this is more activating, more effort. More strength, inner strength, mental strength, emotional strength, physical strength. Take a deep inhale. And on your exhale, we're going to reverse it and slide the hands, hinge at the hip, and find your edge. As soon as you do, inhale, bring the hands to the side of the chair back behind you, fish pose. Exhale, seated forward fold. And continue on your own. And once again, you can speed this up or slow it down. The gliding motions are really great for nerve health. A few more of these. Once again, letting the breath lead. If your breath is labored, you're working too hard. If the breath feels lethargic, you might want to speed it up a little. Notice how you know. One more like this, and we'll end with the fold. After the effort, we rest. And now you can bring a C shape to the spine, bringing the chin toward the chest. Hands resting top of the thigh, below the knee, ankle, feet. Holding the body in half. Tuck the chin to the chest as you slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Returning to the seated mountain pose. We'll end with a twist, and here you have the option of practicing in the chair or coming down to the floor. Remember that both options are correct. We're going to start with a twist toward the right. So if you're on the mat, bend the right knee and grab onto the shin. If you're in the chair, you can be wide-legged, neutral, maybe cross right ankle over left or right knee over left. With your next inhale, lengthen the spine. Inhale, reach the arms up. And with your exhale, we're going to twist toward the right. Release the shoulders, maybe bringing the chin toward the right shoulder, maybe not. If you're seated on the mat, keep the left foot active, toes pointing up toward the sky. And notice if you are clenching or tightening anywhere, maybe even holding the breath. Pelvic floor, pointed between the brow. Release with the power of your mind, with the power of suggestion. Take a deep inhale here. On your exhale, unwind head, shoulders, and low back. If the legs are crossed, uncross. If you're on the mat, extend the right leg and bend the left. And if you're in the chair, decide how you'd like to twist to the left, either wide-legged, neutral, or crossing left ankle or left knee over right. With your inhale, lift the arms up. And with your exhale, head, shoulders, and low back twists toward the left. And release in the shoulder and the tongue. Breathing. Take a deep inhale here. On your exhale, unwind head, shoulders, and low back. If you're on the mat, extend the left leg to meet the right. And if you're seated, here's our final forward fold. You can be in the mountain pose, or you can extend the legs long with the heels to the ground. All together, inhale, circle sweep, reach. Exhale, hinge at the hip, nice and easy here, chin to chest, rounding in the spine. breathing. Tucking your chin to your chest as you slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Take a deep inhale and sigh it out. 2 more like that. Release your conscious breathing here and come into a more relaxed way to be in your body. If you're in the chair, you can sit back onto the back of the chair, maybe widen the legs or bring them closer together. If you're on the mat, you can come to lying on your back. Remember, all options are correct. You can even come into easy pose or Sukhasana, the legs crossed in front of the body. Let's let the hands rest toward the earth. Bring the pointer finger and the thumb light pressure together. Light pressure of the fingers together as well, using the position of the hands to help keep us grounded as we sit in stillness and quiet for about a minute. Once again, notice the unassisted quality of the breath. From this place of restoring balance, we're going to use a gazing meditation. So if the eyes are closed, open them and look at an object that is not your screen. Find something in your room or in your office, something that is calling your attention. So oftentimes when there's a lot of chaos, a lot of movement, you can even think a lot of weather, we can practice this gazing meditation, sometimes just by focusing your eyes on an object, the mind tends to calm. And we do this by letting this object that you've chosen tell you the story of its existence. So notice shape and size and color, distance, maybe texture. Maybe this object reminds you of someone or something. Maybe it makes you feel a certain way. Practicing single-minded focus on an object. So this is a great tool, especially for visual learners, for people with a high sense of the visual. Being as present as you can with this single-minded focus on an object. And notice how you feel when you are practicing being in the moment, which is indeed practicing stress reduction. Thank the object for presenting today, for helping, for being an aid today, and then slowly release it and shift your focus back. Bring the hands down by the side of the body with your inhale, sweep and reach. And with your exhale, press the palms together in front of the heart. Teacher in me acknowledges and bows to and respects the teacher and the wisdom in each one of you. Namaste.
Thank you, Julie.